Welcome to another video from EarnPED.com. I am StevieB, happy to have everybody with us today. We have talked about this before on the channel, but one thing that is always a problem is storage. It is always a mess. There's always not enough of it. And how do we get more? We get vehicles. We use vehicles to put stuff in. This one's currently empty. But we can fill vehicles with stuff. As you see here, I've got 145 skill implants in this here vehicle alone. So, we can buy vehicles off auction, which I have done before. Now, you'll notice some of these are low TT vehicles. That's because if I buy a vehicle off auction, sometimes what I will do is I will get one that is low TT, sometimes even one that's almost completely destroyed, because even with the low TT value, even if I can't use it as a vehicle, I can still use it as a storage container. Sometimes it is cheaper to buy a vehicle off auction with low TT, even though I'm paying a higher markup, because I'm spending less PED. And when I'm buying a vehicle, essentially all I'm buying is a storage container, right? A lot of times anyway. Other times I buy a vehicle and I spend more PED, lower markup, because I want the actual vehicle to be able to use it at some point in the future. Now, if I am making my own vehicles / storage containers, I go ahead and I make them full TT because I might need to sell them, and if I sell them, I want them full TT. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make some storage containers. Go to this here crafting machine. Today, we're going to be making some helicopters. So the helicopter is the Gungnir MK1 Gungnir. I never can say that. Anyway, it's a helicopter. It holds 41 items. And it's got all these wonderful stats right here. So yes, I could make them partial TT and just use them as storage containers. I'm going to go ahead and make these full TT because since I'm making them and have the opportunity to make them full TT without paying extra markup, all I got to do is use some residue. We're going to go ahead and do that because that way not only can I use them as a storage container, I can also sell them at some point in the future, right? So we're going to go ahead, click use residue, stop when residue is depleted. I'm going to go ahead and use the energy matter residue first. Then I'm going to use my metal residue second. I want to do the full number of attempts. So assuming I could get a full TT item every single time, let's do the math here. 25 PED each, multiplied by 17 of them. That'd be 425 PED TT. Notice I clearly have more than enough to do that. I have well over 595 PED TT worth of res. I'm not going to get a success every single time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's see what happens. Hope for a Hoff. Near success. Near success. Success. Okay, one item. Notice that these can also be colored, and that means their texture, yeah, I can texture them as well. So one of the reasons that I'm making these is, as you guys know, one of my goals is to work on my texturing and my coloring skills long term. So by making them full TT, what that does is that allows me more leeway when I go to texture them and color them later on. That will help me later on down the road. So right now I'm going to use them as storage containers. If I decide to sell them, I will color them and texture them before I do so. Anytime you've got an item that you're going to be coloring or texturing, you want to be sure it is full TT before you go down that road. That's a video for a whole different day. We'll get into that later on. But anytime you're going to be coloring, you want to be sure that the item is full TT. Even if it's an unlimited item, you want it full TT before you color it or texture it. That's one of those things. Coloring is very in-depth, and you just need to be sure that's done right away. So cool. Let's see how our results were. Used up a limited blueprint. So roughly we used about 100 PED worth of res. Let's see how many vehicles we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 vehicles. So we got 11 vehicles. That's roughly 275 PED. So about 175 PED TT of profit. Now, that is not taking into account the materials used, but clearly it was not 175 PED worth of materials. It was not even close. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw these in my storage. And what I have done is I just increased my storage space by well over 400 item points. Now the cool thing about this, people say, well, this is an exploit, this is a glitch. This is exactly how MindDark intended it to work, guys. MindDark intended this to be a thing from the very beginning. There have actually even been statements about using vehicles as storage containers from MindDark themselves. They have actually put statements out to that effect. So the fact that MindDark themselves have made statements about it, no, it is not an exploit. No, it is not a glitch. That is exactly how it is intended to work. That is exactly how it does work. And until further notice, I'm going to keep using it that way. Now, if MindDark ever comes out and says it's a problem, I'll be the first to tell you guys. I'll be the first to let you know. They have clearly not. They're very, very aware that this happens. They're very aware that players do this. And, I mean, think about it this way. Normally, I'd have 500 item points, right, in my storage. Let's look at my vehicles from the top to bottom. 150 items, 150, 166, 41, 150, 150, 150, 166, 150, 150. And that's why I love the pit bulls, is because the pit bulls give you the most item space. 150, 150, 150, 150. So clearly you can essentially manipulate it around all day long. You can also, if I remember correctly, put a vehicle inside of a vehicle. So I could actually take a pit bull and fill it with 150 pit bulls. And I could do that. So essentially you can create unlimited storage space for free. Now there are some things that you can do. There are some things you can do in-game that will actually increase your storage space by paying MindDark, especially if you've got like a land area or an apartment or something. That's a whole different beast. There's a very specific reason you would need to do stuff like that. I don't think I have any pit bull blueprints, do I? No, I don't have any pit bulls. Let's see what other vehicle blueprints I have, if any, right offhand. Limited only vehicle. That's a whole different beast, and that's a subject for another day entirely. Ooh, space thruster blueprint. I've always wanted to use one of those. We're only a few minutes into the video. I might go ahead and do that. That is tempting. Space thruster. 5 PED each. I've got plenty of res to do it. Tempting, tempting. Sleepner. Could do some sleeps. What do you guys think? Should we do sleeps? Tempting. I might save that for another day. But I do want to do the space thrusters. I do want to do the sleeps. So like I said, guys, if you have an apartment, if you have a land area, if you have a shop, and you're wanting to add more item spaces, that's a whole different beast. I'm not saying it's good or bad. That's just a whole different argument for a whole different day. But if you're looking for a way to upgrade your storage, this is a good way to do it. There's a couple different ways you can do your organization. One of the reasons that I started having to do this was simply because of crafting. Crafting takes a lot of space because of all the blueprints that are involved. So one thing that you guys might want to do, something that I've started doing, is if you'll notice, I've got this one container up here at the very top. It's got all of my little extractors in it. And notice there's hundreds of different types of extractors. So, I mean, you get these hunting all day long. And me personally, I just stack the extractors up. Personally, whenever I get extractors and components, I like to just stack them, because you never know when you're going to need them. And a lot of these extractors have no markup, but a lot of them have pretty good markup. I'll give you guys an example here real quick. Let me get some of these blueprints out of the way so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so let's look at just some extractors here. So this one, second-rate cloth extractor. Notice it's got a little bit of demand and a pretty decent markup, 116%. Well, I've been able to stack up, 17 PED worth over my career. This one, advanced stone extractor. I don't have as many, but it's got pretty good markup too. There's other ones that don't have any markup at all, like this one. It's got markup, but very, very little demand, so it's practically TT food. And notice I've only got like 1 PED worth of it, so I might as well throw that in the TT. Basic stone extractor, this one should be a good one. Notice it's got 130% markup, but I've only got 260 of them. So I like to keep my extractors in one, and in the same container that I keep my extractors in, I mean that right there, that knocks down what, 30, 40 spaces. I also keep a lot of my components, my focus lens components, high-speed control rate, adaptive fire rate. I keep all my components in here. Now I haven't done a great job of this lately. I need to go back into my main storage container, and I need to get all my components, and I need to get all my extractors. Here's an extractor here. And I need to move them over. I haven't been doing a great job of it. I should be doing this as I go. I know. I'm the first person to say do it as you go and then not do it. Electronic stabilizing component. See, there's some right there. That one goes in that little stack. And if you will do it as you go, it does make it easier. But even just cleaning house, if you'll come through and do this one, just every once in a while, just move all your extractors and all your components over, it will really free up space quite quickly. And the cool thing is, once you move them from your storage into your container, it's really easy. You can literally just right click and go merge all stacks, and it merges all the stacks within that container. So like I said, part of the reason I use this one is for blueprints. So give you guys an example. I just did a crafting run of some Jester D1s to get some blueprints. So I'm just going to throw all my limited blueprints right here. I'm just going to go ahead and throw them all in, and notice how my container is maxed out, right? Now I hit merge all stacks. Bam, it merges them all for me. So I go through here, I just put them in, merge all stacks, merge all stacks, bam, put them in, merge all stacks, put it in, merge all stacks, and it's just literally repetitive, right? Now like these two, I'm going to be TTing. These are the Weapon Tech Gizmo 3 and the Weapon Tech Gizmo 1. I'm just going to TT those. But what's really cool about this, like my welding wire one is in here, especially now that blueprints are stackable. Used to, blueprints weren't stackable, but this is my welding wire stack. 23,742 attempts of welding wire blueprints. So literally, if I hit view info, 237.42 PED worth of welding wire blueprints, TT value. So I've got 237.42 PED TT value of welding wire blueprints. That's insane. Used to, this would have been hundreds of different blueprints, which would have needed a container by itself. Now I can make it into one stack, and I can keep them all right here together. Super handy dandy. Especially whenever you get like a whole lot of these texturing and clothing blueprints, they tend to stack very well. There's some that would just add to it, like all these new Sandrunner ones I got. Those would be new. I'm going to go ahead and put my Sleipner in here, and I'm going to put the Space Thruster one in here. Keep that one out, keep that one out, because I might TT some of these. Keep that one out. That one probably needs to be TT'd. That one I need to check into. That one I need to check into. Check into. Check into. And check into. A lot of blueprints, guys, just don't have value to them. They just don't. So anyway, this is a great way to stack your stuff and get free storage space. Another one that I do, this is one of my favorites. Where'd it go? This is some of my stuff that just I need for the game, but I don't have anywhere else to put it. So notice I've got some clothes and stuff. I've got my giant polar bear rug. Cute, right? My chomper rug. But notice over here, this is the crystalline hologram key. You get this from one of the very first missions I ever recorded and put on YouTube. This is the one where I did like 3 videos back to back, my very first YouTube videos. It gave me access to the instance up in the mountain where all the Thephoids are. These right here, the grade keys 1, 2, and 3, these are from the Cronin jumpsuit mission, the Enigma keys. This is the Enigma keys 1, 2, and 3, so I just keep those in storage. I've got my strength and my agility tokens down here. So this is kind of my container of stuff I just really want to be sure I don't ever get rid of. Where'd it go? There's one specific one I'm trying to look for to show you guys. I'll throw a lot of pets, fireworks, snowballs, crap like that I don't want. I just throw them in storage. This is it. So this is all my mayhem gear. So this is like all my boxes. So Christmas strong boxes, Halloween strong boxes, summer strong boxes, Easter strong boxes. Now this isn't all of them. I do have others. Again, I need to go through and clean out my storage horribly. I've got some mining strong boxes in here that I haven't put in a stack yet. I've got more Christmas strong boxes for some reason. But long story short, they're great because, like I said, it just creates more and more storage space. So even if you can stack something, even if you can take something and stack it up, why keep it in your regular storage when you can make more room by having it in a storage container? MindArc lets us do it. They know that this is a thing that we do, so we might as well do it, right? Like I said, guys, if it's stuff that you're buying off auction, oh look, little horsey pet. Let me show you what I mean by more markup, less PED. If I go to vehicles real quick, you guys saw me make mine, but let's go here. Okay, so I can go highest to lowest. Whenever I go to auction, I go to vehicles, and then I do buyout highest to lowest. And if I go to the first one that has a buyout, it's going to be a customized, colorized, texturized helicopter, just like the one I just made, right? So only this one's being custom colored, custom textured. Well, you can see I can buy this right now on auction for 104% buyout, which means I can buy it for 26 PED. Full TT is only 25 PED, so I'm only paying 1 PED extra, right? But like I said, what if I want to pay a little bit less PED, a little bit more markup? What I mean by that is if I go the other direction, if I start with the most expensive vehicles and I go down, let's see if I can find a pit bull. Okay, so like this pit bull right here, right? Pit bull MK1 holds 150 items. Notice it's only partial TT. Well, it's 9.3 PED TT left, 300% markup. That's not really a great example, so let's go to the next page. Okay, here we go. So notice as I go, I've got pit bulls that are partial TT here. I've got several of them, and they're 280% markup. Let's see if we can keep going. I want a little bit cheaper than that if I can. Pitbull MK1, 217% markup. Now we're doing good. MK1, 207% markup. So now here's where I'm starting to get interested, right here. So Pitbull MK1, 200% markup, 202.21, 9.89 TT. So if I was to buy this right now, I can buy this Pitbull, even though it's partial TT, I'm paying a higher percentage, I'm paying more markup, but I can get it for 20 PED. So 20 PED gets me 150 item points for storage, versus if I wanted a full TT one, let's see, where's one with full TT? Let's see here. I would have to pay a higher percentage. Here we go. So this one right here, Pitbull MK1, full TT, and it's been colored, and it's been textured. Cool. It's got a blue color to it, right? Nice. Full TT, 41 PED. It's a lower markup. It's only 151% markup. But look, I would have to pay 62 PED to get this. So if I wanted something to have as a vehicle, this is the one I would get, because it looks cool. I can drive it around. It's full TT, right? But I would have to put out 62 PED to get this one, versus I can get one that's partial TT, even though it's 200% versus 150, for 20 PED. So I could get 3 for the price of one full one, right? Now again, if I was using it to drive around, bad idea. But if I'm using it as a storage container, great idea. If I'm using it as a storage container, who cares if it's colored or not? If I'm using it as a storage container, who cares if it's textured or not? It's just a storage container. And they do actually make storage containers that are boxes, anti-gravity stuff, all that. We'll talk about that in later episodes. But I wanted you guys to get the idea. I can pay a higher markup, a higher percentage. I can pay 200%, but only be putting out 20 PED, versus paying 150% over here. And that means I have got to lay out 62 PED, right? So that's another way I can save money. Now, I made that mistake when I very first started. I was just buying up pit bulls left and right at full TT, and I was getting the lower percentage, which, you know, okay, not upset, because I did end up making money on them later on. But the smarter way to do it is, if they're strictly going to be an item container, make them partial TT. Get them that way from auction to begin with. That's why these Sleepners right here, that's why they're partial TT. That's why this pit bull right here is partial TT. Now, like I said, you guys will notice some of my pit bulls are full TT, and there's times when having a full TT pit bull definitely comes in handy, especially in player versus player zones, especially if you're selling, stuff like that. But if you're buying them off auction just to use them as storage, like I said, go with the lower TT, higher markup. Don't go with the highest markup there is. That'd be stupid. But you can get one that's fairly decently high markup, but you're putting out less money. So vehicles, highest price first. If I go like 4 pages in, here's one right here for 200% even. looks like 200% is probably going to be the cheapest one. So literally yeah, 200% is probably going to be the cheapest one. So literally for twice face value, you can have a storage container, right? Which is awesome. Also, there are others like the MK2 that hold a little bit more items. The MK2s hold 166. Sometimes they're a little bit harder to find, and you have to put out more money to get them because of the fact that people just don't make them as much and don't use them as much. Therefore, they don't run them down as much. But they are out there, and there's all kinds of other cool things that you can do with vehicles we'll touch on in future videos, guys. But for now, I just want to leave it there. Just want you guys to be able to take a look at kind of how I do my storage thing, how I do my vehicle thing. And we will pick up there in a later episode. So guys, for everybody at EarnPED.com, I have been StevieB. Sip, sip, smack, smack, F the haters, and I hope you are able to create all the storage space you need. Have a good one, guys.